Hello, hello. Hey, Buzz, how you doing? Hope you're well. Woo, we're live. We're back with Borderlands 3, and holy shit, Borderlands 4 trailer. I'm excited. You're good? Good. Cool, yeah, we'll watch that in a little bit, I think.
Hello, traveler.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be mucking around with, like, no skill point modes, and then maybe some time trial-y stuff. Just want to talk about some thoughts on the Borderlands 4 trailer, as people filter in and out. My initial thoughts, so I'm excited. It's an opening trailer, so I've been seeing a couple people being disappointed that there isn't any Endgame, or Note of Pearls and stuff, and it's like, to me, it's ridiculous to expect any kind of detailed information from the first trailer. Like, that kind of stuff is the stuff that you're gonna see in an interview in like 4 months' time, 2 weeks before the game comes out. That's when you're gonna see that information. For an opening, like, WoW trailer, it's just gonna be montage shit. Here's the characters, here's some baddies, here's a premise of the world, and here's some music. Like, you're never ever gonna get specifics because, somebody who's not played a Borderlands game is not gonna give a shit. What you're gonna get on, like, so the splash screen we got was Borderlands 4 and Break Free. That's the tagline. Like, Mayhem is coming. Was Borderlands 3. Like, that's it. The next trailer will have more baddies, more worlds, and even more guns. Like, that's the kind of stuff you'll see. We're not gonna see, oh yeah, pearls, oh yeah, raids. Like we don't have a release date yet. The other thing that I saw mentioned a lot was the design of the characters. Now, Gearbox didn't do them any favors. They really, really didn't. So in the scene where they showed the 4 characters, they're just kind of walking through what looks to be just like normal map. So they kind of like blend in. It just doesn't look good at all, and that doesn't help the characters in the slightest. If they were holding guns, if they had something active to do with their action skills, if they were in a specifically designed area with lighting to make the characters pop and put more focus on them, like Borderlands 3's did, that alone would have made them look better. But they didn't do that, and they didn't look very good. Now, I like the Siren, and I like the big lad. The dude on the left looks the most boring until I saw his slashy sword. They were great. They were cool. Lady on the right, Lucio too. Don't have a fucking clue what her deal is. Hey, Klein, how you doing? What do I think is the woman at the end of the trailer? Well, okay, well, we'll do a little. Why am I in Midnight's King? Doesn't wear it. Cool. Hey Kitty, how you doing? Good to see you. Hi, hi. And they showed the actual gameplay section of the trailer, so it was pretty ugly. Don't know why. There is a certain. Do we know what game engine it's on? There is a certain vibe to it that I see where you're coming from. Now, so a little bit of insider knowledge, not to the specific scenario, but in the when they record gameplay, the conditions of which they are recording gameplay for trailers is not at all normal gameplay. Like, I believe for Borderlands 3, they played at 50% speed. They play in slow motion and then speed it up. Which is why trailer footage always looks weird, because they always do things that some, nerd in a meeting room's gone, yeah, this makes people like it more in a trailer or something. I don't know. If it's Unreal Engine 5, yeah, it's got the UE5 vibe. It's like lots of Unreal Engine 5 games have it. You can tell it's UE5 type deal. Of course, it's early on. Like they are likely to be still working on them. So we'll see how it goes. Why do I have that? Anyway, I got a blood letter. I have fire rate. Jacob's. Yeah, let's change it. Yeah, I think as far as trailers go, I don't think it was as good as BL3's E3 one and BL2's Doomsday trailer. I don't think it was good as either, is it? Intel says there's an element. Right, so I'm gonna want ammo regen. That one.
Down to the lower levels. Make your way there and be ready for some heavy resistance. I'm counting on you, Vault Hunter. Push these rats back! I want us to kill career! Vault Hunter on career! Murderized!
UE3, but on UE5, yeah, if it is UE5, that means they have to go through the growing pains of a new engine. It does mean the game will feel like a step forward, though. You think seamless a lot? Yeah. So, I think their new thing is no loading screens. That's what I saw. No loading screens, which raises a couple of questions: performance, load times for loading into the game, which is important in a Borderlands game because we have. Quit farming them, please. So, like, how did that work? I hope they have a good alternative to save quit farming that people like. I don't think I needed max size on that one. Reset boss without save quit, yeah. So is this no skill point modes? It is.
Not impressed with your mech tech, Malawan.
Those were advanced mechs, but we're after something bigger. Keep going.
Reduce maps with no drivings. Those are always the best. So, we're pretty confident there's going to be driving. After this run, we'll run through the trailer. We'll watch it once, and then we'll go through frame by frame as we normally do. But I'm pretty sure there's driving, because there's vehicles. There's one that looks like a speed thingy from Star Wars, and they're going to do a now this is pod racing joke.
What up?
BL3 feels like 2 years ago. What's crazy is the gap between Borderlands 3 and Borderlands 4 is nearly as large as the gap between Borderlands 2 and 3. It's 6 years. Fucking nuts.
Guess they couldn't hack it.
Like, in 2018, we basically given up on Borderlands 3 existing. Yeah, it felt like a much longer gap. It's because I think Gearbox in general have just been more active with the community between 3 and 4, whereas it was basically radio silence between 2 and 3. We didn't even know Gearbox still existed after Battle Ball, and let's be honest. How long without Wonderlands? Yeah. But we also had the pre-sequel as well. Granted, Wonderlands I think did better than pre-sequel. We've also had, well, Tales and Tales, yeah, we had both of those.
Anybody counting?
One thing I love about Manuel, just how tanky we are. Like, I don't even have health cake, and Manuel takedown bridge is not breaking me. My time to kill isn't exactly quick either. Enemies are just shooting me, and I just don't care. What's better versus Wotan? Radiation or cryo? I don't wait until here no aim modifiers and no anointments. I think no anointments is a bit of a weird requirement because they can always be done, you know, well. Like in theory, there's no difference between an anointment and a skill point. It's a bonus you can put on to do more damage. It just needs to be done well and not, you know, AOC 300% damage. I don't give a shit. game changing. I still think that's fine if they're impactful, so long as the acquisition of them isn't painful. Which for the first few years of Borderlands 3, the acquisition was very painful. They just don't need like the ridiculous numbers.
Light that giant bastard up.
Okay, fish kind of feels like cheating. I'm not gonna do fish. So let's do a good old. Oh my lord! I have the damage reduction to face tank Woden's aura. That's not allowed. Oh, you just face tank the aura. There we go. That's not allowed.
Oh look, dead meat. And you're done.
I don't need to try dodging. Yeah, you can run. But I will walk at you menacingly. And I just can't die. That's so silly.
Brilliant work.
Why don't I have a face one? Hell
Vault
Walker.
Hunter, that ass kicking will make Maliwan think
Oh,
twice
no Hell
before they come
Walker.
at
Rip.
us again.
I just hate choosing the fastest cooldown action skill. So yeah, that was a definite issue. Was the fact that they promoted wasting your action skill rather than utilizing your action skill. I don't think annoyance tied to action skills should just. I don't think that should just be a thing. Nope. No, thank you. I don't think annoyance should be tied to using your action skill on end. Action skill active, I'm okay with. But even then, they can't be too big because then them interacting with action skills beyond action skill do more damage to allow you to focus your build a bit more, specialize your build a bit more. Yeah, nah. And not like 300% damage. I know that was what was necessary for Mayhem 10 difficulty, but like 20, so you can live without it. Living without it is the important thing. Can you live without the annoyance? Yes. Okay. Good design. But if it's like 10% per annoyance and you get, 3 annoyance active ones, you can live without that, but it's there if you want the extra damage. Character design of the new volumes, cannot wait to be honest. I have kind of gone over them. Basically, Gearbox did them 0 favors, regardless of how the characters looked. Because we didn't see much in the way of their skills in active. And the screeny that they showed the characters, if you go back and watch the Borderlands 3 trailer, the Borderlands 3 trailer had this really hued area that it wasn't normal gameplay, and it allowed the characters to pop more. It had a very specific kind of a dull lighting where they were backlit to focus, so the characters were the screen. Whereas in Borderlands 4, the trailer, you'll see it here in a second, it's just map. It's just normal map, and it's just the characters in the normal map with normal lighting. So the characters blend into the map, and they don't pop out. So it just the screen just looks worse. So that didn't do the characters any favors. Even if they are well designed, they weren't presented well. As for the design of the characters, you don't get any attachment to them because we don't know anything about them. They just look like characters. If we look at Salvador, he's short guy with an orange shirt. We look at Flack. I'm not a fan of his murky green coat at all. I always redesign my Flacks. Axton, generic soldier. Roland, generic soldier. Mose, generic soldier. One thing I do find funny though It is normally in a lot of modern games, if a main character's got dyed hair, it's work. But this is like the first playable Siren we've had without dyed hair. Which kind of takes away from the colour, but she's purple enough. Yeah, Consec and Killstack was fine. I like those. Again, I would prefer them to be lower percentages, but yeah. Not a deal breaker, and I wouldn't even call them awful. We just don't know enough about them. And yeah, the Borderlands is usually pretty good on cosmetics as well, Quickie. Like, I rarely keep my characters bog standard in. I always spice them up. That's why the cosmetics are there. If the best version of the character was default, there'd be no point of cosmetics. You kind of actively don't want your best version of characters as default. Right, hang on. So let me. Yeah. Right, let me make sure nothing that'll dox me if I decide to show green. I'm safe. Telling me red isn't a natural hair color? Well, I suppose in Lilith's case it probably is natural, but not quite that. Hey Shkirk, what are we doing today then? I'm fucking around with BL3 Endgame, but I'm also going to be watch some trailers. So yeah, let's just fire this through. I fucking love all the body horror grafting shit of these bandits. They're so cool. The Bandit Queen and highlight trailer. The bandits in general are the highlights for me. They're really good. I lost my shit when I saw this army. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck are they? Fan right? Yeah, I've got something to say on that. We're going to go back on script. This is pod racing. Short and simple. Yeah. Skirk, I want you to know, I didn't know if I wanted to co-stream the Game Awards for the trailer or not, And one of, not the only, one of the deciding factors, considering going live during the night, yeah, one of the deciding factors is I knew a couple of people, not just yourself, have got streaks, and I knew just going live in the middle of the fucking night, it would really suck. So I just chilled in Discord instead. I mean, the thing is, Paul, like, you see this across all of gaming, is it's plateauing out. Just visual design is plateauing out. You physically can't get much further, you know? Like, you can increase the level of, you know, the amount of polygons tenfold, but it doesn't actually look any different because we've already hit ceiling. No, basically, they have no idea what it can do. Yeah, infrared, because if you look back at previous characters, you know, Salvador, guy in an orange shirt, Roland, Axton, Mose are just cannon folder soldiers of their respective company, and Flack, I don't like his color scheme. I always change Flack's design, etc., etc. Not see the amount of guns they have in this game. They didn't have much in the way of splash. So, in the original teaser, Elpis crashes into Kairos, rips a tear in the atmosphere or whatever. Presumably something's shielding it, and all of these bandit stuff from Elpis is raining into the side of Kairos. Now this is where we see this hand. I think this is why this planet has bandits. I think it had its own population of just savages, and anything Pandora related we see is just stuff that flew off the side of Elpis. Because they immediately just start all of this. Which, yeah, these bandit designs are just I love them. She's cool. They're all like just patchwork stitched together. It's body horror stuff. Great. I don't know if you really call it body horror, but it's in that kind of direction. I think her name's Callus or something. I don't really know. She'll be important, I guess. Mechanics do so many possibilities for enemy types. Yeah, that as well. Rather than just a bandit, you can stitch them together a bit better. I mean, you can already see lots of variety here. There's a pyro guy there, some big tanks. Alice again. The Order. At all costs. So, given that Big Lad's called the Timekeeper, and these guys are keeping order at all costs, that just ties in with Ava Murder Mysteries, doesn't it? You had the Seer trying to keep the course corrected. I'm gonna guess that's the timeline. So I think the Seer answered to this guy, whoever this guy is. Interesting that they look quite human, but they're probably not human. I hope he's not human. One thing that would be interesting is if he has biological, like, at least same species, similar species relation to Zero. I don't know. That's a reach, but, like, who is this guy? Why is he so important? Anyway, that's all set dressing. Cool. War. And Queen Callus, yeah, she's really cool. Bandits in general. So, that says Scav. So, definitely, like, off of Elpis. I wonder if they'll be Australian. more stuff. Double sign with the face on it. Yeah, face kind of pops up a couple of times. I don't think that's Timekeeper. I think that might be a different character. Looks like a Decimate Pack. It looks like Fallen, doesn't it? it's the Fallen. Although it's the pipes. It's the pipes. It makes it look Fallen. Yeah, so that's our ship for Elpis. Wonder if they're gonna be Aussie. So Epic noted that the image on the website is titled Raid. I think it's Ripper Raid. And I don't want us to look into that too much. Okay, there's a bit of consistency, like they call it Malaman Raid in terms of image as well. We never got a COV takedown, so it could very well be that just level design wise, if this is a COV or a Ripper Raid, a takedown, that it's just, you know, abandoned content from Borderlands 3. I could see that happening, at least level design and general design wise. If we get a launch takedown, could be this. Then again, I don't think it will be. I think it. Wonder if well, they still have the COV archetype, right? The bootleg guns that are kind of strapped together. I like those guns. If they're back, they'll probably be called Scav again. I don't think we'll get COV or I don't think we'll get Bandit or Scav weapons as they were in Borderlands 2. Yeah, just a couple of different areas. This down here looks playable. That looks like roads, so for vehicles, and then you can come up and around across the bridge. They did say it's going to be open world, one map. You then travel to and from. The hell that'll go. Interesting, if it is one map, that means Elpis. So it would make sense that some of those previous areas were on Elpis, and some of them are here. In Kairos. But if it's one map, then maybe that's not the case. There's a couple of shots like this where it's like a facility. There's a couple on the website as well, which I haven't looked at, like these facility. I'm not convinced they're the Order, because the architecture doesn't really match. And I definitely don't think it's the Rippers, so I think that might be a third faction. This is just more of the Bandit stuff. Like, the guy... What? He's got legs coming out of his shoulders. Like... And these are expansion, like, he could just take those legs off and plug them in here. Like... These guys are just plug and play. As for the Rippers, Rippers are a thing in Borderlands 2. I think that's either an oversight or a lack of giving a shit, because the way that they've designed these guys, the name the Rippers just fits perfectly. Yes, they've used it before, but I don't think there'll be any relation to the Borderlands 2 Rippers. The Borderlands 2 Rippers were limited to Boom Boom and Flint's gang. They also were the ones that were chasing Reese, but it was the Bloodshots that killed Reese, so I think that was just an affront. I think the Rippers were just Flint's crew. Gearbox retconning something? Not just retconning, but just a repeated name. It's not the first time they've done repeated names. I don't think there's any relation. Then is the raid pick with the pipes? Yeah. So this is Ripper architecture, or this is the Bandit architecture. So that previous shot skips quite a bit. The previous shot, it's the same architecture. I'm not entirely sure what the Order architecture. Maybe the facilities do belong to the Order. I'm not too sure on that one. Tagline, I think the first one always sucks. Yeah, that architect. I don't know who that belongs to. It looks... So we've got a soldier here, and they look similar to some guys we'll see later on. That's our third faction. I think all of this architecture, the facilities and whatnot that are dotted around Kairos, that headpiece, that kind of looks like the headpiece of the guys, but I'm not convinced it's Timekeeper Order. I think it might be brand manufacturer or somebody else. I think it's third party. I'm going to bet save quit farming. It's one map, so who knows what it's going to do to load times, but I really, really hope they find an alternative. Now, I don't care for save quit farming. I want them to move it away entirely. I would like alternative ways that aren't just limited to Endgame, but are expanded upon in Endgame, so you can still farm during a playthrough. But I do want save quit farming to exist purely to stop people complaining that it's not there. That is my only reason that I want them to keep save quit farming in some accessible capacity. Just to shut them up. Maybe it's SNS. You know, I was thinking that. It kind of has the look. Of course, there's no branding here. They probably don't want to give it away. Yeah, so I don't know what that guy's deal with. He seems to be the same as this other potential third faction. He doesn't look Order. He doesn't look Ripper. He doesn't really look civilian. Maybe he is civilian. There's a grappling hook point there, actually. We'll get to that, but that's a grappling hook point. Also, that kind of that doesn't look like you jump to it. That looks like probably an NPC, definitely. Or just set dress. They probably wanted to meme this shot. They probably wanted people to post this screenshot with the words, "me waiting for Borderlands 4. That's what they probably wanted from this. You know, the meme picture of the guy waiting by the pool and on the swing and stuff? Like, they were doing that, I think. Yeah, so this ledge doesn't look like you can jump to. It looks too far away from anything, so grappling hook built into core, just traversal. I'll say it's that yellow paint, but yellow paint we're thinking. The art of up here, I think that's just graffiti. I don't think that label can. Maybe, I don't think he's a leader, right? I think it was just some dude. Did that and watermarked it with his logo? Yeah, I mean, that's what I think this screenshot is. Gearbox love their memes. I think this screenshot is entirely them trying to recreate that meme. Yeah, so the grapple grapper, they found it. I wonder if they found any left-handed guns. I really wanted them to have just a unique, a legendary, that had the gun model on the left-hand side of the screen, and it be called the left-handed gun. Like, just one weapon where it just moved to the other side of the screen. That would... Again, more of the third party / order stuff here. Most of it. So this is an order fellow. Now, that here on the back of this truck, it's kind of like diamond shape. It's not the same, but it's kind of there. Iridium top corner on this shot. I mean, I think that's just like electric effects. Yeah, that was electric effects. Not seeing any iridium on this shot. Ah, yeah, look. It's that same truck. So maybe it is order. This looks civilian. Yeah, these NPCs, they look civilian. That's probably going to be central hub. The golden chest is situated here. The golden chest is going to be on this ledge. There's going to be a quest giver up there. There's going to be a vendor down here, a vendor behind the camera. You're going to come running out here, go to jump across, not make it fall for the 17th time, and not learn your lesson. That's what this is. So this is in a city. We've got a Ripper. There's something on her back. I don't know if that's a gun or grenades. It's glowing. Got a cool mohawk. This is what I mean. So the backdrop is just more city. They don't pop out. There's no special lighting to put focus on these characters. They didn't do them any favors. As for the characters themselves, I like the Siren. I like Big Lad. He's boring, but he gets spiced up very quickly, and we don't see much of her at all. I don't think there's anything wrong with this guy's design. I think this guy's just cool. Nothing I'd change here with him. Yeah. He kind of just looks like Reinhardt. The same as Emily Swan. Emily Swan, is that a character from the pre-sequel? Because I've seen that mentioned a few times, but I don't remember them, so I might need to do another pre-sequel playthrough. The Siren looks cool. Yeah, I like the Siren. Purple tattoos. The design does not match Steele's. I haven't looked at Tyreen and Troy's designs, but interestingly, Sirens typically, by default, have blue tattoos. Tyreen blue, Troy red makes purple. Purple tattoos. But Amara, when you changed her action skill element, her tattoos would also change color. So I think this is just them moving away from the limitation of blue. But also, you know, red, blue make purple. Dyson sphere in the background. Nakayama is a Vault Hunter. Echoes in Pre-Sequel talks about his Observer and another Siren in Elpis. The Observer cures Emily with purple aura, the tattoo same color. Oh, it's just then though. Okay, fair enough. Cool. I'll have to track those echoes down. Thank you very much for that little bit of lore. If you've got any more on Emily, I'd love to hear it, because that's not a piece of content that I ever interacted with. Have we seen a Siren tattoos on their legs? Most of them wear clothes on their legs, so you can't really see. I'm pretty sure, though. I haven't really looked. No reason to think not, though. Like, most of them just wear full-on pants, so you don't really... So yeah, these two, I don't really have much in the way of issues with their designs. I like them. This guy. I don't like his clothes. His clothes look like something you'd pick up in a thrift shop for a $5. Like, okay, maybe he's a street kid. Maybe that's his deal. I want to know more about his backstory, because I want to know why he's wearing that. Feels too Zane. I mean, a coat with a parting in the middle and short spiky hair. Okay, his gadgets. He's got the blue, like, hologram thing, so I get that. A shapeshifter. I don't think he is. I think that's just his drip. Look like he'd be Octavio's buddy. Exactly. Like he looks like he's off the street, you know? That he knows his way around. He's got, you know, the street smarts. He seems like that kind of guy. He's got a fucking nose ring. Look at a rocket boost. It's some kind of tank. Yeah. And then there's her. I don't like the pants. Of course they could be recolored. I don't really see anything more of her. She shows up a couple of times, but she's not doing anything. The body proportions. I mean, it's just giant pants, isn't it? Maybe these are like mechanical suit thing. Like her normal legs are like in there and surrounded by mechanical suit. Maybe she's got like insane jumping or something, or insane running. Or it could just be they wanted to do a funky in there. I don't know. Yeah. Fluffy pants don't think they wear trees. Nice. Must be a psycho. Ex-psycho? Maybe. Character's gonna be more unique, mysterious, badass like Zero Mordecai. Zero is perfect. Zero is cool. In terms of the assassin one, yeah, it's probably him after we see his shit. But yeah, the Gearbox really didn't do them any favors with this backdrop and lighting. Also, they're just kind of standing there. They're just walking. You don't see anything to do with their action skills. They're not even holding guns. Ex-Malo on heavy. You know, I think you're just right. I'm mad I didn't come up with that first. I think you're just correct there. Like, those gloves, yeah, I think you're just correct. What was the same as Purple G2 Iridium? Hold Iridium in these valves. Yeah, having a Siren who's like embraced Iridium before we get to play them would be cool. Also, something that Larsa said about Observer cures Emily with the purple aura tattoo. Yeah, whatever that was. Pre-sequel. Which also makes sense because Elpis is involved. Holding guns would help us scene a lot. If you look at the Borderlands 3 scene, they're holding guns in various poses across the characters. Just holding guns would just make them look more main character. Seems like she was going towards airing them up. But yeah, no, Malo on Heavy makes a lot of sense for her. Close up there. Bro just doesn't have a facial expression. Like, bro. I mean, she's got a kind of look going on. Yeah, he's cool. Superhero landing. Big Malo on shotgun. Guessing. The shot's mid. The shot is very mid, yeah. Yeah, so she's got a pack on a tube energy thing. She's got like a booster thing here on her back. Kind of see her feet. She's got. Oh, that's a can in the background, ladies. See, okay, here. They're like exhausts. I don't know how to describe those. She's got some movement shit going on. It has to be. Like thrusters, yeah. All these tubes, energy and then cooling or something. As for the gun is very unique. I've been trying to place that gun. I don't think it's kinetic. But it looks, that body with this energy core in the middle looks very noticeably different to this very probable Maliwan shotgun. I don't think any of these are floating. That's just really weird design. I don't... I mean... The name S&S comes back to mind, but I think that's a reach. Its fire rate's weird as well, actually. Pew, 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 pew. It's not even like a machine gun. Dollar Scav, the new the bandit replacement, like a kind of a Ripper-esque gun. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, it looks like some fucked up amalgam of shit. So, yeah, is that the stock back there? That one exists after the death of the CEO. CEO is not dead. Oh wait, New Tales. No, CEO didn't die. I can't remember. He was in New Tales, but I don't remember if he died or not because he was just a hologram. Yeah, no, they were just watching TDO do the display. I don't think he died. The guy we killed in Borderlands 3 was just his son. Marine fabric. It's definitely kind of techie. It's. I don't think we can apply known logic to this weapon. I think it's something new. Yeah, that's just cool. I'm sorry. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, okay, the blue hologram looks very Zane. But dual wielding is always going to be cool. I mean, he's kind of slashing at nothing. Ooh, hang on. So I initially dismissed this. Because there's this person firing from the back line. See the bullet fly past him there. However, where's this bullet from? Is that a bullet reflection, or is that just... This is from... Yeah, that's not bullet reflection. Terrible. You could be blocking bullets. Jungle, he's not related because he's got a spiky head. Yeah, but the swords, if they're good, that looks fun. If we're familiar with Spunky, he might like this action skill. If it's like a mode you go into, kind of like Brick or Krieg, I'd really enjoy that. If you just pull out the swords and you're just running around with the swords in your hand as your action skill, which I think might be the case because the hologram stays up for the entirety of this. I like those animations as well. This scene redeemed this character for me. Like, this just looks too cool. I don't even care if it's his weakest build. If I'm playing this guy, I'm playing it around the swords. Yes, so onto the Siren. I think these two are just goons. I think they're enemies. What does it say on that wall? N-O-A... F? E? Could be an R. Nope. Guy's in the way. Oh yeah, it just says note. The siren. Yeah, it is funny. Double drum mag pistol. Yeah. That looks like a rat-a-tat-ta. Almost. As for the beastie, I think that's hers, to be honest. It's very weird to have it be behind her, but also purple. Whenever we've seen these beasties in the past, they're very much not purple. So that would be a weird choice from whoever put this trailer together to have that shot there like that and have them not be related to each other. New design of chest. We're fighting somewhere civilian, I think, because there's just like tin cans and bottles and shit all over the ground. Siren Flak, yes, Flak invented having pets. In fact, if you go back into the earliest notes of history, before the Romans, before the Egyptians, all the way back, it's actually just a picture of Flak when humanity first domesticated animals. Yeah, so I think that's hers. Whether that's a passive or an action skill, we'll see. A siren with a pet, that would be new. I don't think it's Thought Lock. It's very much designed around her design. I don't think she has the tubes there. She doesn't have tattoos either, so I think that's an older model for the character. She looks a lot more basic there than in the later shot. I think that's just an older model. Remember, we're still months out of launch, so they're still working on them. But yeah, no tattoos. Just looks different. No tubes on her arm. That's very pre-Siren. No tubes, so no iridium. Provided that's what they were. Yeah, I think that's just an early. I've not actually looked at him in a pause screen yet. That's just cool. It's General Grievous, but I don't care. That's just cool. General Kenobi, yeah. That's... This weapon will make a fine addition to my collection. We've got a Torg. Looks very prompt critical. Yeah, we're gonna look at him while I go to the toilet. I'll be back in a minute. Let's see, walks himself over, see their skills in the world. Yeah, fun. But yeah, I'll be back in a moment. This place looks run down, but the building with the cliffs looks high tech. Yes, that building and its architecture we've seen, that's native to the planet, that's native to Kairos. And then this is all Ripper architecture, as is of course a Ripper. I think they're the invading force. So I think this is an outpost that they have put up in siege of this larger building nearby. Yeah, that's two different factions there. The Rippers were either a local native bandit clan that have picked up stuff from Elpis to give them the occasional bandit face, because this is very much not typical Borderlands. This is new, this face mask, which makes me think that they're native to Kairos. But they could also just be bandits from Elpis. Wasn't a brand faction called the Rippers in BL2? Yeah, I mentioned those earlier. I don't think they have any relation. I think that's just them reusing a name, because the name for these guys being the Rippers just makes so much sense, given that it's all body horror, grafting, that kind of thing. A cyberpunky type deal. Like, the fact that they just have body parts just sewn onto them. The name Rippers just works so well. I don't think there's any actual relation. They might connect it in some kind of cutesy way, but practically I don't think there's any. There's an arrow there telling you to go inside. Yeah, he's a dude with 4 arms. One of them is not very useful though. You skip leg day as well. It's got a little knockback AoE. Now a siren again. Now BL3 COV weapons you held like this, and I'm going to be entirely honest, that looks very similar with the pipes, tubes, little venti thingies, whatever they are. The rack in the background there. Then laser beam. She's got a thing on her back as well. So that's, you know what it could be? Could just be a double jump. They could have just added double jumping and given the characters like little booster thingies. Which I'm all for, by the way. Double jumping in this game I think is mandatory. I think Borderlands is a game that's natural just to have double jump. Double jumping in first-person shooters is just a thing that's happened more and more over the last 10 years, and I'm all for it, and I think even if it doesn't make sense, double jumping in a first-person shooter is just cool. Now this is pod racing. It's summoned out of thin air. There's this little machine on the side, so I'm not sure if that's a thing, but there isn't a pad beneath them. There's no pad there, indicating that you can summon vehicles on the fly when you're on. So this is obviously some of the open ground. It looks very low poly here. Very early on. As Speed Person says, now this is pod racing. So yeah, you can drive down here all around. This is obviously a big open zone. And it seems as if this individual... Yeah, it's the lady. So she's there on the ground, and she just jumps into it and drives off. So it could very well be when you're in the main, like, overworldy map that you can summon your vehicle on the fly. There's that big tall building again that was in the teaser. Yeah, another shot of that kind of architecture. That's either going to be... That's local authority, I would say. Whether or not that's order, I don't know. But it's the same designs here, these triangle hex thingies. Same architecture, the guys with the trucks. That's a playable character on a different vehicle. A single-seater speeder. that's not a different type of vehicle to, like, with a different purpose. So either each character gets their own design, or this is expanded customization. Because I don't think there's any practical difference between these two vehicles. I think they're machine guns. It's like a tractor. Yeah, it kind of does. Well, it was kind of like a plain turbine engine here as well. Yeah, I think that's just customization or character tied. Because each of them do kind of look like they don't belong to that character. Well. He's driving a Sauber. Well, more like Destiny Love vehicles. Yeah, very. It's a speeder, summon it anywhere. Yeah, I get you. So it could be that Zane's running the bar now, and we don't have Moxie. Which, I mean, exactly enthralling work, is it, Zane? Each manufacturer has their own car type in the Bandit variant, and have them have slight variations. That'd be cool. Yeah, I think he runs the bar. He's an NPC. He'll have quests, provided he doesn't die. Oh, yeah, that's a thing, by the way. If you're playing a Borderlands game for the first time and you're noticing an NPC is never giving you a side quest, they're probably going to die. And the metal bars from behind Axie. Shot. Still never give us a side quest, I never knew. This guy, I don't know, he looks friendly. I think he's gonna give us, I think he's an NPC. I think he's gonna give us quests. It's like beefed up Clay. Imagine he knows Clay. Faction leader vibes, yeah. Yeah, it's just his demeanor, he just looks friendly. Yeah, he's friendly. I don't think he's a villain. The background, wilderness, forestry, trees, power station maybe, so they're running on their own energy. He'll run some faction out in the wilderness. He won't be in the city. He'll be some like tribes leader or something. We go back to the shot. Yeah, he'll be out here somewhere. He'll be out there. I saw a Gearbox dev post that this was her creation of a character. No hint as to who it is or what her deal is, or if she's good or if she's bad. She's obviously somewhere a lot more prestigious. Her clothes indicate the same. Yeah. No clue if she's gonna be a villain or not. Have we had the BL4 damage formulas yet? I imagine it'll look very similar to previous games. We'll figure it out quick. She's the most beautiful Borderlands person in the universe. She does look very fancy. She says moral grey or neutral. She looks not hostile, but also moves to, you know, for her own benefit. She looks out for herself. Ready to simp. Loot! New part set. I don't even know what manufacturer that would be. That I think looks flat off. That's the same gun as that. A lot of these are just repeat guns, so it's obviously. There's a new glint for legendaries. Now, it's on every legendary and only legendaries. Somebody said potential annoying, but the fact that we can only see it on legendaries and it's on every legendary, it's either just a new effect to make legendaries stand out more and glow more aggressively, or anoint spawn with 100% drop rate on legendaries. Yeah, the screen swirls over there. I think that might be just a distance thing, because the other ones have the swirls. This one just looks a lot more pronounced. That's got green and yellow. That one's got green and purple. There's a bit of orange there. But yeah. No, I don't think they're different. I think that's camera. The news been blessed by butt styling. We've got an older model of our Siren again. She doesn't have the tubes, no tattoos. The guns themselves have very narrow stocks and very wide barrels. Noticing? I don't think there's anything really to read into them. And here we see a more panning shot, so we're further away from the main city structure. I don't know if that's the same civilian city we saw earlier, or if that's more military-based. Also, the fact that we just have these three characters here in this shot further attributes to my theory that the third character is just the least developed. The most recent one that they made. The Timekeeper, yeah, Timekeeper's probably up there. The Timekeeper is probably here. There's a wall around here. I don't think that's a civilian city. I think that is stuff. Lots of wreckage from Elpis. So here we're back into the civilian area that I think is going to be the hub. I mean, something. The golden chest is up here. Oh, that's just sparks. That's not a fact. Fancy looking gun. That's probably a unique or legendary if I were to guess. I don't think a non-unique would have that skin. Jacobs, more confirmation that it's a new part set. Big fuck off silencer. Malawan SMG. We've got this tower again. This is the second time seeing this. More of the purple electricity, which we saw as well in one of the Order's facilities. Road, so we can drive up this. In fact, we saw an aerial view of this earlier on. I think you can drive down in this ravine as well. And then up onto where we're stood, and then further up across this bridge. I think all of that, beyond what is visible, is all playable, drivable. Malawan shotgun. We've got a fire symbol here. Potentially sniper. In fact, that's the same gun as Big Lad was holding there. Because it's got this weird dual barrel thing. I think it's probably it's a Malawan double barrel shotgun is what I think it actually might be. The barrel, yeah, they kind of like come out at this weird angle. There's two of them. That girl. That girl. And this is probably playing from the big guy as well, because this is where he was on the speedster. It's like they did all these recordings in just one little session in one little area. More Ripper. Like some kind of like almost like a harbour. Some town. The Rippers have taken over. I don't even know what's going on with his body. Like, dude has back problems. This is a missile pod. Maybe he's unique and this is all loot. Maybe he's like a looty enemy, or maybe he's boss. He's probably just. He is very angry. This up here on the left. Maybe it's city outskirts. City outskirt, but yeah, city outskirt vibes maybe. We got a beastie here. I don't. These plants look different to the ones on Necrotophaeo. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be related to manticores and stuff, but Hannes indicated that there might be some relation between the plants, the beasties, and guardians. Not sure if they'll follow that or not, but just a happy buddy. More Ripper architecture, loot stuff. This is a combat area. I think he's a badass psycho. I don't think he's a boss. Like, he's just a badass psycho. He looks sick as fuck, though. These guys. We saw him at the facility as well. They're humanoid. He doesn't really look like the Timekeeper's forces, but unless they're just the human element of them, or they're the third parties. We've got a sniper-esque looking guy here, although that looks like a drum mag. And then we've got Mushroom Hat with a staff. Yeah, so Mushroom Head. Yeah. Ah, Mushroom Head's up here, look, with staffs. They are Timekeeper. Yeah, they're the Order. Not a third party then. Yeah, so this shot, not S and S, because you can see these soldiers. They're the same. So this is the Order. All these facilities are the Order. How you doing, Nepsi? Hope you're well. The scythe gun staff's nice. Yeah. New beastie. There's an awful racket. Now, what is going on? Like horns and. It's just a parade. What is going on? Rhino. Some like he definitely charges with that, don't he? Yeah, he looks mean. I think he has a boss. He's got two swords. Our playable guy has two swords. I'm curious what's going on now. There's a road I can see. It goes for miles up a hill and over the top, and there's like flashing lights and cars and stuff down the entire way. There's like a parade that's like several miles long. I have no idea what's going on. I'm not sure the mic is picking up the horns, but it's very loud. He's got a fancy thing on his arm. Can't really see anything in the background of note. Notable. So, there was a grappling hook screenshot. Here. In the background here. That's the new yellow paint. I think Christmas festival thing? Yeah, Christmas festival thing. I think anywhere where we would see yellow paint, they have replaced with a grapple hook, not doofer. Also, I do love the words break free, followed by grappling hook. Like they're issuing a challenge. But it's also kind of funny. This is like the most limited implementation of a grappling hook I've seen. If you can only grapple hook onto these nodes. Doesn't even go very far. He does fall quite slowly though. Like, that movement looks very weird. Could just be editing with the song. Gives him to grapple very specific things. Yeah, it looks like he's gliding. So this whole sequence, he grapples up. I don't know what's going on here with this lad. He's just a glowing thing. So he throws. It almost looks like a throwing knife. An odd looking grenade. Takes a bullet. Then explodes, not quite into singularity, but it does lift them off the ground. It kind of stuns them. Better than BL3 singularity. Then he throws the axe. So he's looking a lot different to his earlier shot. Our vault is no longer made out of rock, it's made out of construct. It's also orange and not purple. Either this is a fancy prison for him, and Elpis tearing a hole in this planet's atmosphere shield thing has let him out, or he built this. He's also called the Timekeeper, so I swear to God, Gearbox, if you do some bullshit timeline thing to explain away all of your retcons, I'm going to be moderately disgruntled. I wonder if we're getting dual blades melee for a skill. Yeah. I guess time travel is lazy writing if it's not done well. Yeah. I'm usually. Yeah, no, this guy looks really cool. His clothes and whatnot I don't care for, but his skills look sick as fuck. That's just. So they had more of these ciphers at the end. I think somebody has translated this. I'm pretty sure. What if we get another descendant or relative of Tron? I'm not being serious here, but as Irish pointed out earlier, big pants, big gloves. She's X-Mallow heavy. She's a Tron. Yeah, Ava's not playing. These are all new characters. Oh, this episode because it's just like body horror shit. It's cool. Body horror light. Like, yeah, the body parts are all in the wrong place. They're ripped together, ripped apart, put back together, bolted on. The designs are fucking great. I love them. If we look back at General Grievous. Where was he? Yeah, him. So that's not a traditional Psycho mask, that's just new design. He's got like the kind of badass Psycho body type, one small arm, one big arm. But then he's just kind of got two more arms. General Kenobi. They kind of... So they kind of like fold out, so they're like behind him, and then they fold out to do his... Also, I don't know what's going on with these like little rockety things. They're just kind of like flying around. Wonder if that's a character skill or if it's an enemy projectile. If it's to do with this guy. The door on the note might be Ava's hangout. Didn't she have that on a jacket? Maybe. Yeah, we don't see any old characters in this, do we? Oh yeah, Zane. Just Zane. And for all the characters to come back, I think that's a good choice. Yeah, all we need is Zane. No Lilith? Well, I think the point is Lilith's story is a bit of a myth. So I don't have a link to that interview. For some reason I'm struggling to find it, which is weird considering how recent. A time skip? Yeah, I mean, depending on how the bandits are set up, the all that bandit infrastructure and stuff needs to be set up. It's all for a lot of it's from Elpis, all the scav stuff. It's all from Elpis. So obviously that didn't just erect in, a day. There'd have been years. Claptrap. I think there'd have been quite a bit of time for all of that to get set up. Does anyone have a link to the interview? I can't find it. I'm trying to search for it. Wild that I can't find. It's the one where he talks about it being seamless. There's an article on like this. I'm trying to find that. Thank you, Reckless. Oh god, did they have one that's not like a fucking flashbang? You have dark mode on mine? I don't. Mine's a flashbang. Why is it flashbang? Can't find a button. Well, I guess flashbang in 3, 2, 1. Sorry. So yeah, see if there's anything here. All I know is seamless. Force dark. Wish I knew how to do that one. More approachable, yada yada yada. With Borderlands 3, the idea is going to different planets. It was more compartmentalized. It felt less of open and free. Borderlands 4 is the most open and free ever. When you look at this, you can see the characters looking out at Vista. In every video game you've ever played, that's a backdrop, right? Not quite, Randy, but okay. What you're seeing is a playable space that gets in reach without a load time. So this is something that they said about Borderlands 2. In Borderlands 2, if you're on top of Bloodshot Ramparts, you can see most of Act 2 right before you actually go there. It's really cool. And that's just a theme that Borderlands 2 is good at throughout. You can kind of see other maps from other maps. You didn't really get that in Borderlands 3. Got a bit in Borderlands 1, but Borderlands 2, they really focused on it. And they're kind of going back to it, especially if it's all one interconnected map. I'm sure there'll be like corridor sections to separate it and hide loads. They won't all be loaded at once, of course. But interesting way to go about it. Because with Borderlands, there's a main game mechanic that kind of gets in the way of open exploration. And that's leveling. If you find an enemy like 3 levels above on your first casual playthrough, there's kind of nothing you can do to them. I wonder how they'll tackle that. Like, can I go to different areas and do things in different orders? Or is there still the main, story order? Like, theoretically, I could just spawn in at level 1 and just drive to an endgame area. But does that mean everything will one-shot me and be like 30 levels above? Or how will that work? Everything in the scene. Okay. The interviewer here? Oh, it'd be cool if you could reach the tower. You mean the main tower that's at the center of every scene? That seems very important. I think this was a poor thing to joke. Of course you can go to the tower, Jordan. You should have said something sillier. Like playing Woodlands go, you know what, it'd be really funny if you go to the pyramid. Yeah, this is the way you go. Point of the story, mate. Yeah, the fact that it's not on all platforms means they can do more. I just hope to God it runs decently, because Jesus fucking Christ. Everything is explorable and reachable. Yeah, I hope they do the limitations of exploration in a good way, like cliffs and hills and buildings and whatnot, rather than invisible walls and turn back now warnings. They're never interesting. I mean, don't have visual clutter. With the some open worlds, other games have done different things with that, and there's things that we're doing that there are things that we're doing that none of them have done. Oh, Randy, Jesus Christ. Okay. But there are things that we specifically don't do because we're Borderlands. See, this is very vague, but like, hey, all those games, they do something because it makes sense. Well, we don't do that because we're Borderlands and we do things illogically here. And we care so deeply about combat dynamics and care so deeply about that moment-to-moment feeling. We craft this world, everything that unfolds has a purpose. That I like. I don't like the rise in like procedurally generated content. I like very, very purpose created, which is actually fresh because as much as I like Chaos Chamber, the spawning, and this is the thing with Wonderlands as a whole, enemies spawned out of thin air, and it felt very procedurally generated, and it kind of was with Chaos Chamber. I like it when enemy spawns make sense. So many games use the order and places where enemy spawns as a way to direct the flow of combat. You can't really do that when they just kind of appear. So hearing that, good. This isn't just systematic algorithm looking build world. Yeah, everything is handplay. That's good. Be careful when we talk about this. I wouldn't say open world because that term will become a lot of baggage. So it's linearly designed in an open map. Who's been at the door for 50 minutes? Go get your food. Fucking hell. That's Randy's magic creating bullshit out of thin air. Yeah, there's a lot of this is Randy. Like, so there's one up here. When you look at the scene, in every video game you've ever played, that's a backdrop, right? In Borderlands 4, what you're seeing is playable space. Buddy, pal, Skyrim literally came out before Borderlands 2, my guy. Pipe down. Elden Ring run Game of the Year a couple of years ago. You're a bit late. I'll go back to old location for these games. I doubt they're making a game with old locations. Yeah, no, this definitely won't be it. I see what you're saying, like to see how they've evolved in the game world, but like Gearbox ain't keeping track of that shit. They can hardly keep track of their own story. I wouldn't call that game open, but seamless. Imagine Borderlands 4 is designed in a similar fashion. So they say open world, but it's just like it's still got the normal progression of a Borderlands game, just all loads of room. So like you can't just drive straight to Iridium Blight out of the gate. You still got to unlock that, even if there weren't. I'm guessing. BL4 is adding new vehicles and movement mechanics. So we've got the grappling hook and suspected double jumping. It might get a fancier name than grapple. We'd like to have our own word to everything, but we'll call it grapple for now. Borderlands 3 called it the grapple grabber. BL3's movement tech was a huge jump from Borderlands 2, yet still a little dated, but great. Our next game is set to continue that trend. Hell yeah. We really did push on our gunplay, and we added a mantle and we added a slide. We brought in Buttstomp from the pre-sequel, and this time around we're adding a few more that are just as seamlessly connected. I'll sometimes bring up the hang on. I'll sometimes bring up the Borderlands 3 editor to reference something. And I'll try and do something that in Borderlands 4 that I just can't do in Borderlands 3. This is really weirdly worded. My brain is breaking. Oh, he'll go back to play Borderlands 3, try and do a thing that's in Borderlands 4, and it won't work. Just like people who play Borderlands 3 and then go back to Borderlands 2 and realize, damn, I missed the mantle. We started working on Borderlands 4 before we shipped Borderlands 3. Stuff like that's always worrying to me, because it means that often you see the same mistakes get repeated. Like, you see they release the game in a state, a bunch of feedback gets put through. Oh no, it should be like this, it should be like this. And then and they fix it, and then the next game comes back out, and then they just go back till before the fix. And it's like, whoa, 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 hang on, you had it right. Why'd you go back? Because they started working on it too soon. So when I see that, I always get a bit worried. Like, well, you do the same mistakes again. I mean, they were much better implemented, right? Much better implemented. In the sense that they were just optional with their extra reward that was tangible. The implication of that statement would be that Gearbox is already working on whatever comes after Borderlands 4 and probably has been for a while. Pitchford agreed with that thinking. Okay, so not much there, mainly just Randy gassing shit up. I think we'll get a similar time jump, 3 to 5 years, I reckon. I don't think it'll be 7, but I think it'll be a couple of years. They'll explain it away really simply. They'll be like, we've been looking for Elpis for the last 6 years, but we finally tracked her down, let's go! And this is what we walk into. We walk into a shit show that's been going on for a while, and we're just new to it. And it's just been 6 years. So it's already like established, there's already towns and civilization and whatnot. And we just like kind of butt in the middle like, hey guys, we're the protagonists. We can continue now. Thank you for waiting. Nothing got released? September, I guess. Now it does mean that we're getting this a lot earlier. So normally, when they announce a game, it doesn't release until like 6 months later. It's a really short window. Yet, they did the first teaser like 3 months ago. Normally, after 3 months, we know all the characters, we know their names, we know their skill trees, we know we know their action skills, we know the villains, we know everything by that point. But right now, we only just got the first teaser. The first like proper trailer after the teaser. So they're going much slower this time. So I don't think the normal expectation of 6 months can apply. I would just get, or wait to see what Rockstar does with GTA 6. I think that would be a smart play. So that, well, it depends what they do, you know. We don't know when GTA 6 is coming out. So. Is that a bullpup? That looks like a bullpup. In Borderlands 2, there's like the poster Dahl assault rifle. It's a bullpup. It looks really cool, but none of the guns in game are. We did have bullpup let-off pistols, but they were a bit weird because some of them were bullpup and some of them were like grip, and then some of them were in front. That's just a proper bullpup, is that? I mentioned it says several years. Yeah, several years makes sense because it allows all the crap off of Elpis that flew off Elpis and landed on Kairos. It allows that to be used and set up. I think what happened was when Elpis crashed into Kairos, all of the bandit masks and whatnot got flung onto Kairos, and then Kairos natives picked them up and became bandits. And that's what we see with the that's what I think happened there. Either that, or the Rippers are scabs from Elpis that have now colonized and started rampaging across Kairos. But that would mean they'd have to be all Australian. I reckon these guys are native to Kairos and they've just found shit off of Elpis, started using it. Because not all of them share the typical Pandoran masks. Jesus Christ. Bro, hang on. This big unit, has he got spider legs? That looks like spider legs. I don't know if he's just got 2 legs and a big robo race, or if he's got 4 legs. Yeah, callous. We know that. Maybe there'll be a prologue that happens right after BL3, then there'll be some time skip. So Randy said that they've got a cinematic that's between BL3 and BL4. I think that will connect it a little bit better. I think that will be the thing that you're referencing, but later on. It's kind of weird that Firehawk symbol's left as an imprint in the sky, I don't recall. I think they just wanted it something to look cool. Phil? I think they just wanted it, I just made it look cool. Please no Commander Lilith too. A lot of people are wanting it. I wouldn't be against it, as long as they don't fuck with balances. New mass design? See, that's what makes me think that they're native bandits, Brucey. Because that's not a Pandoran mask. There's quite a few of them like that. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Beginning of the trailer? No. The different one. Actually, like the beginning of the trailer is just the teaser continued. I think his cinematic is something different. Because there's no coherent story stuff here, this is just trailer stuff. There's another 4-armed guy there. What the fuck? See, that's just so cool. I love this design. Like, this is like my aesthetic. A hive mind? Why do you say that? It's literally just like cut arm off, stitch it back on in a different place. This is body horror shit, but mechanized. I mean, I guess the like Ball Queen vibes, like the glowing eyes, I can see that. More enemy variety? Yeah, exactly. When you're not limited by the normal human body, and you can start putting like arms in different places, and they have things that aren't arms instead, like you can start doing more things. And these guys, there's a lot more variety in them. So yeah, it's a really good choice to go in that direction. I also like how this just looks like Pandora. Like, it's even got the rocks. It's even got the iconic slanted rocks. This just looks like Pandora. These guys, I don't know what their deal is. They're obviously the general fodder, But we've also got the humanoid mushroom people who are fighting with people who just look like humans. I can't remember where it is. Yeah, these guys. Like, man's got a nose, lips, a mouth, like... He's a human. So, from what I can... He's fighting alongside Mushroom Head. But they're on the same side as those things, and those things look very much not human. So how do they... Why are they allies? Cold War Zombies, have you played it? I did play it, but I don't... Disciple. They're synthetics? I mean, these guys are... Reckon they're robos? Could be robos. A bit boring if they were. But I don't think he's human. It wouldn't make sense if he was human. The seer looked up to this guy. You've seen a mushroom head in the Psycho side? I mean, they probably just ripped a fucking corpse off and stuck it onto one of their own, let's be honest. I don't think that indicates much. They probably just slayed somebody in battle, ripped his head off and stuck it onto one of their own. A humanoid alien? That's what I would hope, Deathzerker. Exoskeleton for Iridians? That I like. I'd like it if it was that. Specifically made to combat humanoids, potentially. Maybe... Maybe this guy. So in the Proving Grounds, when the Guardians recognize humans as the next Guardian, maybe this is what he means. Maybe this is a new recruit, so to speak. So like, this is a part of the new order military, and this is what he had before. And then when humans pass the Proving Grounds, he's like, alright, they're good enough. Start recruiting. So this is a human guardian. Bro's hair. Look at a tube coming out of his gut. So yeah, we've got some of the fodder here. One of these disciple guys. Hologram, that's going to be some enemy skill, I think. I don't really know what's going on with this action skill. Those look like 2 axes. But he throws one. Hey, Snow, thank you for the 41 months. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Don't see what he does with the other. I see they replace spider ants with spider pole ants. So it's kind of got the same skin texture as like manticores and stuff, and these plants kinda-ish the same. They had story relevance because they were present on Minos Prime, which didn't have them previously. So these things should be directly correlated, like directly tied with the Guardians, Iridians, whatever. Like where these guys show up, the Iridians are, and planets go kaboom. He was saying the second as the screen went black. You think that's what it is? It's a double projectile? So, like, action skill, pop, throw, back to gun. No, I think that's too soon. I think it's still in the animation of the orange one. Like, that's the last frame. Nothing even appears on the right side. How does the left disappear? Choose which one to throw? If that's the case, I'd just prefer the 1, 2. I think that would have a bit more weight to it. Like, 1, 2. Grapple only on special points? Yeah, Max. We can see one earlier on here on their meme shot. Hang on. This guy here. Yeah, here. There's one in the background here. Fire and Ice, Game of Thrones much? Yes. We talked about this earlier with the domestication of animals in ancient Earth history. If you go back into a similar period of ancient Earth history, like before civilizations, before the Egyptians and all that, back to the very first cave drawings when humans first discovered fire and frozen water, you can also see a detailed picture of George R.R. Martin on the cave walls. And Game of Thrones was there at the beginning of Homer's marsupial history. It's just there. Just alongside Flack, there's just George R.R. Martin there. The tone looks more serious like Borderlands 1. I still hasn't finished his third book. I mean, of course, this was thousands of years ago. He hadn't even started the third yet. Found the article. Should you post a link? Yeah, go for it. Put 6 hours on my YouTube channel and YouTube autoplay. Nice. Timekeeper is the 7th siren. Yeah, Troy doesn't count. He was conjoined with Tyrene. Dude is so old. Like, fucking... The fuck? Dude. Off. Go. This tracks with the original core trilogy, which launched in September and October. Yeah, September-ish. Yeah, no. Hang on. And these are old. Yeah, no, that's not. That the girl from New Tales on the wall. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Pick up Lucio's sister. What if that is his action? If it was mellow, I was like instead of axes. I doubt it. Action skill is that. Yeah, the breakdancing psycho. So this kind of ties in with the whole. You say the theme is close to Borderlands 1. The entire Rippers is just like that. Like, this guy lost his legs, so he just screwed some metal ones onto his shoulder. He's even got different points. If he decides he wants his legs a bit lower down, he can just unplug them and plug them back in. Like, less in your face. I mean, it's trailer 1, Death Zerker. We can't. They don't. There isn't even any bloody dialogue yet. We can't really say anything with any kind of weight on that, I don't think. If this was a boss that changed itself during the fight, I don't think this is a boss. I think this is like, this is just funny clip. Kind of like how they have that. That's not anything relevant to the game. That's just Gearbox wanting you to meme this picture and go, me waiting for Borderlands 4. Did I manage to sleep after? I did. I wonder if they went the mech route to be more gory without the blood. Potentially. But it also, well, okay, so I think if it was genuine body parts sewn onto each other, that might have been a bit heavy. But doing it a mechanized way. Not as much. Also, it still just looks. You can do some weird stuff with robots that like could go against what a normal human body would do. Like if you attached arms to this guy's back, there's only really one way you can do that, and that's by having an arm. Okay, you could probably do an arm on an arm, Godric style, but like this is a unique design that would be kind of awkward to do with an assortment of arms attached to each other. Like this is just robot Godric. This is cool. Yeah, but robot horror's yeah, actual body horror would be a bit much for people. I mean, I'm all right with it, but robot horror is cool. I'm very pleased with the direction they're going with the bandits. But it's gonna be horny AF playing BL4. Too much spikes. He's more of a night guy. Like this kind of design is stuff that I like. Bert likes his knights and cleaner stuff. Spider do some kind of. I hope that this wild assortment of just body types actually makes it into the game and it's not just, you know, background. I hope we actually see bandits with like 4 legs and, you know, fucked up arms. I mean, we see it a little bit here. But his taste, unlike me. Sorry, my taste is more chaotic. Love the new Psycho Mask design. Yeah, it's nice to have a change, to be honest. And I think it looks bad. I don't understand why Take-Two put GTA 6. I mean, Take-Two have got so many games under their belt, they're always gonna trip over each other, so. People seem like they're doing the weakness of the flesh thing. Overdone a lot, but I'm not against it. It'll be towards the end of the game though. Yeah, probably. They'll either have her like you're chasing her throughout the game, and she kind of shows up towards the end as you're dealing with this guy. Or they pull a Borderlands 3 where they hype it up and go, "Oh, we gotta find Lilith, and they gotta find Lilith," and we find her in the first 10 minutes. Like Borderlands 2 with the Commander Lilith DLC set up losing the vault key and made it a big deal. "Oh, we gotta find the vault key. We gotta find the vault key." You find it in the first 10 minutes. I might just do the same. You think GTA will get 6 will get pushed to 2026? I hope it does. I do hope it does, because there's a lot of great games coming out. And GTA 6 being pushed to 2026 would allow them to breathe. I think that's a grappling hook. A little circle there. So I think you can either walk through the front door, or you can grapple hook and walk through at a higher elevation. Yeah, in Borderlands Theory, they weren't actual like a gameplay thing, Ian. They were just, story progression. Like, the Order, they've got, like, trucks and shit. So there's definitely a core human element here. Because, like, if they were just robots, then why would they need... And yeah, they gotta get A to B, but, like, still you just have a robot system. I don't remember at the Hidden Red Chest, Developer Chest. I don't think they were ever actually, like, dev chests. I think people just called them that because they were hidden out the way. Alright, it's not Marlon, this is all Order stuff. So this guy's got the triangle head. That same triangle head style is on the back of this truck. Also, these guys look very much like the Order soldiers, like the mushroom head guys. This is all Order. We talked a lot about this shot earlier. Decided that it's all. Guys. You see this human here, I thought could potentially be a third faction, third party, but the fact that he's fighting alongside a mushroom head. And the mushroom heads are here. Now these guys look a little bit different, but it's still the mushroom head. Yeah, we talked all about that Death Lurker. I'm not putting too much weight into it, but to be honest, if this game launches with a takedown, I reckon it's the COV takedown that Borderlands 3 never got. I think it's unexplored BL3 content. I think it's a bit of BL3 content they started and never finished and put it in and saved it for this game. If it is a scav raiden. That's going to change anything in Destiny. Rippers have very similar architecture to Fallen. Style in general. The Rippers are very similar to the Fallen. It is the Fallen, right, in Destiny? Yeah, I mean... that's more of the facility stuff. That's like, the Order's infrastructure. And then we've got the shit that came off Elpis. Scav, pipes, yeah, it's all full. Very full, and that just looks like the raid on top of the wall, the Death Zamboni thing. Just all that. Yeah, something in the DLCs would have been nice for Borderlands 3. The Borderlands 3 DLCs were good, but they lacked any endgame. Just like a proving ground, or an arena, or a standalone boss, or alternating. Just something. how seamless BL4 really is. So, basically, from what I can gather from the way they've described it, is it's basically just going to be normal Borderlands progression through the maps, through Borderlands maps, but instead of there being like a button that you press through a load screen to get to the next map, it'll just be a corridor that you walk down. They'll be a bit more open, like, and not a literal corridor, I hope. But it's not like you can drop in and immediately drive to the Iridium Blight. You still got to go through the progression of the game. So it's not the wanting to avoid the words open world and just use seamless as in it's Borderlands as you know it, but there's no loading screens. That's kind of it. I wouldn't expect major gameplay overhauls. We'll just have to see how save quitting works. Was the Red Skull the picture in the other game? Red Skull? I think that's just Bandit artwork. Like, skulls is just a normal thing for bandits throughout. Yeah, I think that's just this particular branch, whatever. I don't think there's any here. That probably... What this probably is, because there's like machine guns by the face, right? There's probably some fucked up abomination that's like half robot in here that looks kind of like this. Like, there might be a boss that looks like this. Oh, you mean this one here? I just sent that. I think each DLC needs to have one edition of each game activity. I think one of each might be a bit excessive, depending on how many they do. Because, like, I wouldn't expect a Borderlands 3 DLC to have the size that they had, as well as a takedown, a standalone raid boss, a proving ground, and a slaughter. Like, that'd be quite excessive. I mean, awesome, but not very realistic. But just something. I'll take something. Gear, what's not to do with it in BL3 and keep the goddamn our takedown difficulty? I mean, they brought them back, Rabbit. So, like, they had true takedown difficulty, and then they made it scaled, and were like, okay, yeah, don't worry, we're working on the button to make it original because people don't like stuff being taken away. Yeah. I want difficulty in the game. I hope there's. I hope they flesh out the difficulty system. If it's anything like The Division, I'm happy. The Division having a co-op specific difficulty that you really got to be mad to do it solo, I like that. That game's not bouncing around it, it's cool. That's what I want. I want the game's hardest difficulty for solo, and then I want something harder that's intended for you to be doing it with a team of 4 people. That's what I want, because I want to solo that shit. I know I'm not supposed to, but I want to do it anyway. Artfix nerfed the same day they dropped? No, neither. So, Malo and Takedown existed on 4-player difficulty for about 3 months before they made it scaled. About a month actually before they made it scaled, and then another 2 months after that, a month or so after that, they made it. They gave us the button. The first month was true difficulty. Malo and Takedown. We didn't even have Guardian ranks because they turned it off by accident. So it was actually harder. And then a month later, they made it scaled per player. And then a month or so after that, they added the switch. The Guardian Takedown had and it went back to original. No difficulty got taken away. It's original difficulty. Guardian Takedown, however, came out really tough. But then a week later, they nerfed it. We already had the true switch in place. We never got that original difficulty back. You cannot play original difficulty Guardian Takedown anymore. Now, people have made mods for it, and it's much easier now that we know the game, and maybe they shouldn't have ever nerfed it in the first place. We just didn't know the game. We didn't have all the power creep in place yet. But it took them a week to do that one. The only first day difficulty nerf they did was True Hag of Fervor, because that one was excessive. The Slaughter BL1, where they just had random bosses each round they should bring back. I liked Underdome. It was a bit like long and drawn out for a lot of players, but it was cool. It actually had good modifiers as well. The modifiers of Underdome should have been the baseline modifiers for Borderlands 3 and Wonderlands. Enabling true takedown but for the entire game. Yes, exactly that. It's 4-player difficulty, but everywhere. But I would make it a bit. I want Arms Race again. Arms Race in Wonderlands would have gone hard. I don't need it giving extra loot quality or good XP, just let the people crazy people. Yes, Paul, that's important as well. So when you see people play on the hardest difficulty and you have people, because it's a looter shooter, right? It takes time to farm up a maxed out build. The difference in Borderlands between a maxed out build and a fresh build is so enormous because the bonuses are so huge that you cannot balance for both of those on the same difficulty. It's impossible. An optimized build will be doing 10 plus times more damage than an unoptimized build. And Borderlands has to shove everybody onto the same difficulty. It's impossible to do, and that's why nobody agrees on the balance of a Borderlands game, because everyone's playing different games. So they need to accept that Borderlands is going to be unbalanced and players are going to get ridiculously strong. They shouldn't balance the game around that, I don't think. Because, like, why have 10 Mayhem levels if everything's going to be balanced around Mayhem 10? You have people just starting Endgame go, Mayhem 10's too difficult, enemies just bullet spongy, it's poor difficulty, it's bad. And then you've got people with an optimized build going, Mayhem 10's too easy, power creep was hell, why did they take away the fun out of the game? Two opposing opinions, though. That's why you shouldn't shove everyone into one difficulty. Spread people out. But don't punish people for playing the lower difficulty. That's rude. You post a link? Go for it. I think this is an interior to, because that's facility. That's an interior to like that. I don't know what this is doing. We see the purple electricity here, and we see that later on as well. Yeah, there. Same purple electricity. So that's an interior. Ooh, something I want to point out. That power core circles energy. Look in the middle of that gun. Very similar. So when somebody said Iridian weapons, it's the game's it's an order weapon. That looked very similar. Yeah, they're very similar. A secret facility. I think early on. Yeah, that one. It's only on screen. Yeah, this one here. So there's actually a shot later on. So look at this. Look at this hill down here, up onto this bridge, and we see this facility going up the side of the mountain. Okay? We can see this down here as a ravine. There's a pool of water there. These look like kind of roads. Not really roads, but definitely something that the game is guiding you to drive on through this ravine, all the way over to something in the distance over there as well. Not sure how well you can see that on stream, but there's another building over there that's yellow. Okay. Oh god, where is it gonna be? So now we're on that road with that hill up with the bridge here. So down to our right is that pool of water, the roads, and then over to the left off screen we've got that purple building. It's that same area. So they're giving us 2 shots of that one. So the camera was here looking. Flashbang, sorry. Take-Two Internet plans on to have a comfortable gap between the upcoming releases of GTA 6 and Borderlands 4, even though both games are currently scheduled to launch within the 2026 financial year. This 12-month window runs from April 1st to March 31st, but both have been previously announced for the 2025 calendar year. The CEO Strauss briefly spoke about the release date strategy for those games. I think it's safe to say we wouldn't, and no one would, stack these huge releases unnecessarily. I get it, Borderlands is one of their Titan games, but saying huge releases with them next to each other. Oh, Borderlands is big, but like an anthill versus a mountain, let's be honest. I like Borderlands, but it's nothing compared to GTA. I know who the white gold elf lady is. Yeah, lots of people are interested in her. Okay. Breaking through the ice stuff, you mean that one? Yeah, so that was the original tear. So this, the people are reckoning that this was shielding Kairos, and Elpis kind of like tearing through it is what released our new friend. Playing with your dad, his setup is sick, didn't even want to play PC game. Nice. Oh. Yeah. Our new friend. Sidonia and Mount Everest are the same, yeah. I wonder what her style of play is gonna pick up on the first week. About Siren. You talk about the Siren here, yeah. You remember having your game open to public in Borderlands 2, having a level 89 trying. Yeah. It still happens. There's a lot of cheating online and people like ruin saves. It's sad. So if you're referring to the Siren there, Phil, I don't really see anything outside of this. I do think this is tied to her. This is an older shot. She doesn't have a tattoo. She doesn't have her wrist injections. This is like an older design of the Siren. Got some fancy dual drum pistol thing. Not saying the other female character? Ah, right. Oh yeah, we know nothing. Getting a pod racer there. So that shot. So yeah, you're already playing Lucio 2 at launch. So yeah, looking at her design, there's nothing really to go off. Huge pants with tubes, huge gloves. Irish mentioned that she might be a Maliwan heavy. Ex-Maliwan, Maliwan heavy. And I like that theory a lot. In a second here, we can see again. So she's got this auto weapon. She's got something on her back here. But I think the Siren has something similar. I reckon it's double jumping. Or some kind of propulsion system. In fact, we can see this character. They're just kind of gliding. They're just kind of gliding there. So that could be a part of that. When we're getting the left-hand guns, yeah, I mentioned this earlier. I'm really disappointed in Borderlands 3 we didn't get a unique weapon called the left-handed gun, and it just have the weapon model be on the other side of the screen. So all the weapons are on the right side of the screen. Just have one gun that's on the left-hand side and be the left-handed gun. I hope we get that. You actually got some crazy attack shit? Yeah, unfortunately we don't know anything about it. So. Heckle increasing difficulty, not including what you already talked about doing the 4-player difficulty solo. The thing is doing difficulty in a way that makes the internet warrior happy is nigh impossible. It's very difficult. Okay, it's not possible. Lots of games are able to do it in creative ways. But this is a looter shooter. It's a game about numbers. How do you make the numbers matter more? You make the numbers matterable. You make the numbers that you need to hit bigger. It's why when people say, oh, harder difficulty is lazy, it's just tankier. No, it just means you have to put more attention in when making your build. That's how you make a build crafting game more difficult. You make the build crafting matter more. You make the margin of error higher. Easy difficulty means I don't need to engage with the build crafting, I can just blast through and have fun like a shooter. Hard difficulty means you need to properly engage with the build crafting and put together not just a build, but a good build. It's not bullet spongy, it's a skill check on the build crafting front, and that's what a looter shooter is. The build crafting as you put all your stuff together. But giving enemies like more attacks and stuff, I get why people... How well you thought about your gear and stuff? Yeah, I get why people want like harder difficulties to have more new attacks. I get that because it's a more interesting way of doing difficulty than more health for a lot of players. But I would rather that those attacks just be present all the time. Like, why dumb down an enemy? If you're gonna make an enemy interesting, make it interesting. Don't. I'd rather just fight the full enemy even on the easier difficulties. If I want to chill, I don't want to play dumbed down versions of the enemies. I want to chill by making my guns do more damage by virtue of me not having to care about my build. Monkey's probably get the WASD treatment again. Fuck. Not the WASD treatment. Anything but the WASD treatment. Those girls are Tron. Not the first person to mention it, Soren. Yeah, huge oversized gloves, huge oversized pants. No, as soon as Irish mentioned that she could be an X-Mali 1 heavy, she's a Tron. It's probably not the case. I don't think he's. I don't think. Yeah, no, I want her to be a troll. Out of the Vault Hunter shown, which one are you already looking forward to main for the start? So, if I was to just give him the game, the stream, and play, I would just have to pick the Siren. I've never picked a Siren first, but they're always my mains, so I think I just have to finally do it. But the character that initially first piqued my interest was Big Lad. I like the Big Lad. If I got early access like I did with Borderlands 3, I'd level probably him and him, and then I'd stream my Siren play. So my Siren wouldn't be my first pick, but it would be my first public. And I'd have these two pre-leveled. So in Borderlands 3, I leveled Zane as my first playthrough. Then I quickly leveled Flak because I realized he was the strongest on launch. And then for stream, I played Amara. So Amara is my third pick. The guy on the left looks like Troy. Is it because he's a guy with spiky hair? You're allowed to say yes. I think Mayhem 11 saved the replayability just because of getting rid of modifiers. Yeah, Mayhem 11 was they realized they missed the play with modifiers, so they just threw in a quick band-aid. Here you go. Liked it. Even his face. I ain't seeing it. His face is very bland. He's just got no emotion. Like, I like it. He's got something going around with his eyes here. He's got the nose ring. There's stuff there, but he's just got no emotion there. I don't think she approves. She's giving him a weird side eyes. Like, what are you doing, dude? You're supposed to look badass. Any females and enemies inside BL3 besides Genevieve, Tyrene, DLC boss, and female psychos? It's quite a long list. Malawan didn't have any female troops, I don't think, that you could at least see. And then, yeah, there was female COVs. People think it's Ava, it's not Ava. I see no pet time this time, Sag. Brucey! Do-do-do. Do-do-do. The siren. Potentially, but like, this is very different to the existing ones we can see. It's purple, and they've put it next to the purple playable character. That's a very bizarre choice if they're not connected. It is an exceedingly bizarre choice if they're not connected. Also, like, the guy's swords. They all look woke. No dyed hair. Big, muscly, brawly, masculine male. I don't know about that one, dude. The whole scene's lit purple. To an extent, but there's definitely purple details on the beastie. Because otherwise, because it's so much more pronounced. Yeah, you can see the purple here. I suppose there's a purple light coming from glass. Again, it's such a different design to the normal fellas. The way it moves around there. So it's over here at first, facing the enemy. And then it appears here. So unless it's just about to fucking attack her. They are fighting the Order. Yeah. Not a given, but it's really implied. Right above the siren. I'm not quite sure I know which scene you're talking about. Because here, he's just shooting in this direction the entire way. See, you can see the two barrels. She's looking towards us. With the Order, where am I getting that name? So basically, any kind of formal facility is the Order, from what we've gathered. These guys. These guys are the Order. And This is the timekeeper. They are protecting order at any cost, which makes me think the seer from the Ava Mysteries looked up to this, like answered up to this guy. He's the villain. So these facilities are theirs. These soldiers here, they're the same soldiers as we see here, or very similar. We've got mushroom heads here with the staffs, and this is the same guy as these. So we know that they're connected. Yeah, people are poor, yeah. So the bandits are called the Rippers. She's called Callus, I think. And that's the time. They also come in Witcher 4 work because of one unplayable character. Like, okay, so women in games has been it's just been a thing for longer than half of these people have been alive. Also series like really fucking hot. So I don't get it. You gotta throw logic out the window thinking like them? You do. Moran's got way too comfortable. The thing is, Phil, I'm looking at her, and she's facing the camera, aiming down sights the entire time. So I'm not sure what interaction she's doing that you're referring to. Every frame, she's staring at the enemies that are shooting at him. You can tell, because these are the front of the gun. Not moving at all. She doesn't look at the beast. She's aiming down sights, holding that pistol up in every frame. That bullet has got a propeller on. I've seen quite a few of these this trailer. Bullets seem slow, and I don't like it. I want fast bullets. Slow bullets don't feel good. There's more of them here. These bullets with wings flying around? Like, what are they doing? Like, there's all these bullets flying around. What are they? Why aren't they doing anything impactful? Yeah, I really hope that the dual swords guys, I hope that loadout is fun. I hope it's a mode, like Brick or Krieg. It looks like it will be. We should have 5 of the 7s at the moment of this trailer. Yes. Ava Tannis, Lilith Amara, then Steele and Tyrene Troy deceased, but in comes Emily. In fact, what I'm gonna do... TPS Emily. Let's see if we can find more of them. Yo, are you gonna like contribute anything, or are you just gonna say character bad work for no reason? Circling with form of protection, so like bullets that shoot out other bullets. They look very similar to the bullets that the Scion was shooting in the other shot, though. How much do you believe in? Do I believe in the Emily Swan theory? The first I've heard about it is today, Wolf. I didn't pay attention too much to pre-sequel side missions, and when I did was like 10 years ago. So, um, so we've got these echoes. Annie Swan, Doll contractor for Keep It Spotless Cleaners. If Mum could see me now. Still, cash is short. Emily's sicker than ever, and the universe isn't overflowing with free medical care. Still, making up after Doll's fittest and finest lets me sniff out some juicy gossip. Beats reading a book. Somebody's out there though. I feel eyes on me. Have I got a stalker? Annie Swan again. I saw it. Him, her. Late one night scrubbing a train intake valves when I looked up in the distance on a hill. It was tall, spindly, sliced in half by a shadow, and still as the dead, watching me, an alien. Not sure what to tell the camp commander. So that sounds like the Watcher, spindly, alien. This should be one of the BL3 Vault Hunters too. Yeah, like... I mean, the fact that BL4 is Elpis rather than Pandora, and the pre-sequel is Elpis, that helps it a lot for Borderlands 4. Not sure what to think of this crazy universe. I didn't end up mentioning my little alien friend Scott. Money's tighter than ever, and Emily's skin and bone. It's appeared looming over me. I never had to clean up after myself. It only said 6 words. She will leave this moon. That's definitely the Watcher. Emily's recovered. Can you believe it? A real miracle. Nurse Nina said some kind of purple light lit up at the medbay an hour ago. Purple tattoos, purple light. Emily and I are off to Pandora. Don't know what the Watcher. Okay, it was definitely the Watcher then. I mean, the only thing. What's a weird side mission? There's no gameplay there. It's just echoes. It's just lore. I think so. If the Watcher's involved, that means it's Iridian. Purple. She's got purple tattoos. The badass rank thing, not a quest. Oh yeah, it's not even a quest, is it? Yeah, it's a badass rank challenge. Yeah, so it's literally just lore. Nothing else to it. It's just. I will play TPS, but do you think it's worth going back to play through? Yes. Play Timothy. Hi, Poison. Is Borderlands 4 out yet? Yeah. 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 I've got it open. Paused. Uh-huh. How you doing? Hope you're well. Unfortunately not, and I unfortunately. BL3 balls in every. Yeah, BL3 was just a side adventure. BL3 really was a side adventure. It basically ended as it started, with Lilith teleporting Elpis away. To be honest, this game doesn't even seem like it will wrap up Borderlands because there is no. Pandora isn't here, so what the fuck's going on with the Destroyer? The Destroyer's still there. Tapping your foot impatiently. Red bar is the XP bar. Yeah, strangely it goes across the whole screen now. It's very odd. But yeah, in terms of the Emily Swan stuff, I like it. It's there. If you look at the character, purple tattoos. Purple tattoos aren't a thing that's happened before. In terms of which her powers are. So, I'm guessing she didn't get her powers immediately. Ah, it's TPS. Oh, no, this tracks. I'm guessing she didn't get her powers immediately. When the Watcher did the magical alien stuff to revive her, it was at this moment implanted in her that she would become a siren. The powers just needed to be made available. Troy and Tyreen have blue and red tattoos. Blue and red, purple, purple. Purple light with the Watcher, purple. It is a different symbol to, like, pattern to steel. What does purple tattoos mean? Nothing that we know. It is a different pattern to steels. I haven't checked Troy's and Tyreen's yet. Not really sure you can see them, to be maybe when Troy takes his jacket off. This game feels like a side adventure, just like we're leaving everything behind to an underscore plan with nothing randomly joining a war. I get it. But the Timekeeper seems important, especially since so to me the overarching Borderlands story is what's going on with the Guardians and the that was the first mystery that the first game set up. You had the Iridian Vault. When you go down into the Dal Headland mine and you get attacked by those first 3 Guardians, that is the Borderlands mystery. And that wasn't really explored in Borderlands 2, but in Borderlands 3, you had both the Martyr, the Trial Guy, and the Seer. The Seer banged on about keeping the course corrected by making sure things happened in the right order to make sure that their end goal was met. So that seems wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey. Then we meet a guy called the Timekeeper. In my mind, the Seer 100% answered to this guy. So to me, this guy is a direct continuation of the story of the Seer, which is a major Borderlands plotline. Because to me, the main Borderlands plotline is what's going on with the Iridians and the Guardians. That's the Borderlands plot to me. And all the manufacturers and the characters, they're just characters. The plot is what's going on with the Sirens, the Iridians, and the Guardians. And this game seems big on all. Time Razor shoes should be older now than our Siren looks in new footage. Older than this. Let's see. This is a few years after BL3, which is 9 years after the pre-sequel. I mean, she could be 30 there. We don't know how old Emily is in the pre-sequel. She could be 18. She could be 28 now. Yeah, she could still be in her 20s if she was like 17, 18 in the pre-sequel. But I get what you're saying. Will there be ghosts? Yes, there will. Hang on. Ghost! Ava's covered, she's good. We've got ghosts. Space fiction plays fast and loose with character aging. Yeah. She could be 50 for all we know. What do you think they'll do with the Endgame? Well, good fucking question. They gotta chase takedowns, surely, right? I mean, okay. Borderlands 2, we had raid bosses, but it was the only endgame they really experimented with. Cormorax was very successful in Borderlands 1, so in Borderlands 2, they did a game full of raid bosses because it was popular. Borderlands 3 comes around and they go, let's experiment. They don't do raid bosses, they do other shit. takedowns pop off. People love takedowns. So maybe they either do more experimenting or takedowns, or worst case scenario, which is annoyingly quite likely, Borderlands love their story. The devs, they love the story and the world that they've built, and they've been wanting to invest more into it. We might end up with a Borderlands 3 DLC scenario in which it's more story heavy and we get fuck all endgame. I'm really hoping they swallow their tongue and just put in endgame for the sake of keeping their players happy. As much as they want to go all in on their story, the players want endgame. It's a looter shooter. You gotta give us something big to point our loot at. Kinda have to. As much as this narrative that they've created, as much as they like it, we need endgame. I wonder if they'll bring back weapon skins. I really liked weapons. And yeah, we didn't have any in one. I'd be all for more takedowns. I'd also be all for more takedowns. You know, the big war the Watcher was talking about doesn't turn out to just be 2 armies of foot soldiers. So, I mean... this trailer? That's some nostalgia here, boys. I think it's a different trailer, to be honest. But there's a scene in one of the Borderlands 2 trailers where it's just a wall of bandits and Hyperion stuff. Doesn't mean much, it's just looking pretty. It's just like, here are the enemies in our game. Was that funny? Verme's just there. So here, when they're introducing the characters, they gave him a proper introduction. Salvador is just a guy in an orange shirt. But they showed him doing something that's unique to him. This is why I'm not necessarily against the designs of the new characters, but the way that he presented them really didn't help. Like, the design of Salvador isn't more interesting than the new characters, I wouldn't say, but he's doing something cool here. He's dual-wielding guns, pointing them in opposite directions. Here's Maya doing something, directly showing her skill. Action's probably the most generic of the bunch, but they even present a soldier character. I mean, he's bland and boring as fuck, but he's doing something. He's surrounded by enemies, fighting them off from 2 different directions, because he's got a turret. I've just noticed there. That's Borderlands 1 text. It didn't look like that in Borderlands 2. That Thresher never existed. Ruin looks different. What is that skill? That's not Converge. That's not Converge. Advertising script thing. Come and get me has the army lining up. Yeah, thank you, Mental Mars. I knew you'd know. But yeah, Borderlands 2 had the same thing. You just had a line of enemies.
Handsome Jack.
Of foot soldiers.
This tyrant will be the end of us all.
All they do is revive Jack, I swear. So that is a big skag in Iridium Blight. That didn't exist.
We're gonna need a lot of guns.
There's a lot here that didn't make it into the game. Another warrior? Ah, yeah, it might have been. Still, the Thresher in the water didn't, but yeah, that would have been the warrior. Interesting, they showed the final villain in the opening cutscene when you didn't really know who, like, the warrior wasn't mentioned. Obviously, this is going to be a villain that's going to be talking to us through the game. So they're going to show him there. The pop trailer. Doomsday was just good. I mean, this is a musical montage trailer. It's not all going to be dubstep, is it? I'm holding a gun in that trailer. Yeah, I mean, it's all early. Like, if you look during this trailer, there's a lot of shots where the siren just doesn't have tattoos or anything. It's just an older design of the character. BL3 showed Hemo before the game was released. Yeah, though, in fairness, when they did release Hemo, it was basically a completely different fight. So different to that early. What did the original Borderlands? So, okay, the original Borderlands 3 trailer. So I want to showcase this. So these characters are walking. They don't have guns. They're not doing anything. And most importantly, right now, that's just map behind them. There's no special lighting to highlight the characters. That is just map. That's just playable space behind them. I think it's the Borderlands 3 E3 trailer we want. Is it? Yeah, We Are Mayhem.
There are 6 sirens in the universe. I used to be one of them.
Yeah, I just pointed that out.
My name is Lily.
V3. It's just an older
I
model
need you.
character. I would imagine. Or it could be a story point. Because she didn't have the arm injectors either. So it could be that she gets those later on, or after she gets skills or whatever. The BL3 trailers were so good. So immediately, same as Borderlands 2, we get introductions to the characters and what they do. And that's so cool. But BL3 would peak for trailers. In gameplay, Mara's tattoo size and color varied skill investment could be similar. Yeah, likely.
The Children of the Vault is a psycho cult. 10 billion followers demand we join or die. We've got another proposal for them.
So it shows them using skills together. So I don't think it's necessarily the design of the characters themselves, just how they're portrayed. They're not portrayed well in the Borderlands 4 trailer. They're not using their skills. It's also why I think we're further away from Borderlands 4 than Borderlands 3 was away from this trailer. The trailer also spoiled Earth losing powers. Yeah, in a sense. Yeah,
There
definitely.
are 6 sirens in the universe. I used to be one of them.
Yeah. Which trailer? What was the first Borderlands 3 reveal? Was there an earlier one? Better comparison. Okay, this is the one that I wanted. Okay. We've got 4 individuals here. So this is our comparison to the Borderlands 4, and a fairer comparison. Hey Scorch, how you doing? Blood Feud. So this is a much fairer comparison. We've got our 4 characters here in a specifically designed area to highlight the characters themselves. They're holding guns. They mean business here. Look at Borderlands 4. There's no aura. The background is just more map. There's no fancy lighting to make the characters pop. They're not holding guns. They've got no purpose. They're just there. It's not about the characters themselves. It's just how they're presented. They're going to the mall. Yeah, all the aura went to the Rippers. I'm gonna have to go back and watch all the Borderlands 3 trailers because they were just so good. There was another one that we haven't watched that's just even better. It's the one where like Zane's dancing. Yeah, the happy together one. Story than the characters. Yeah, so this one's got a focus on characters. And this is why I mentioned that Gearbox, they're obsessed with the narrative and the story that they've built, that I fear that they will neglect other things like Endgame. Kind of like the Borderlands 3 DLCs. They went heavier on the story, so we got better, more drawn out stories, but there was no endgame with them, because where you give, you take. And that's a concern I have for Borderlands 4, is that they're going really heavy on the story. And I get it, they like their story, they like the world that they've built, and they want to tell their story. I get it. But we need endgame. We need good endgame, because it's what the players want. Yeah, so far the characters have been a complete centerpiece of this trailer. We get some wide shots, we get some story beat. Oh my god, I'm going through that frame by frame. Yeah, this is all character focus. The reveal of multiple planets. I hope they release a more character-focused trailer. I think they have to. I hope the pass system for 4 is more like 2, simple and cleaner. Yeah, and I'm glad you worded it like you did, because I didn't like the BL3 system at all. Didn't make any sense, but just simpler than 3. Because it was cool in the BL3 trailers. I think we just have to watch it, don't we? This was the vibiest trailer.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together.
Oh, the marketing budget for 3 was fucking enormous, Scorch. Even in this, you've got character personality in this trailer, despite it being a meme trailer. I guess the BL2 comparison for this one would be the Awimaware one, which was cool, but 3 sold more than previous games, didn't it? It did. It absolutely did. Hated the Borderlands 2 Imra trailer, but it became a success. I didn't vibe with it as well as other people did, but it was good. This one just wins though. I really hope we get a trailer like this for Borderlands 4. Their music video trailers go hard. It's not gameplay, it's just funny. It's trippy, it's like a music video, isn't it? It's like one of those trippy music videos. All Hell Quest, yeah, I think I remember that one. Because they wanted to stop it at 50, they didn't want to go beyond 50, and they only did it because players wanted it. The other is a tendency to take heavy inspiration from the most recent Diablo release, and I'm very uncertain how I feel about this time in regards to the billion guns thing. Where is billion listed for Borderlands 4? Is the new sign really have a summon action skill? So we don't really know, Scorch, but so here's the shot they're on about. So there's this thing in the background. It's in a couple of shots, actually. So it's in this one. It's hiding behind our dual swords hero. You can kind of just see it there. And then it appears behind her. It's got a very different appearance to the rest of them. So the rest of them look very, very different. So they don't have the things above their heads. So you can see them here, look. This is what they look like normally. Very little color. And then when we look at our potential hero one, color's kind of tough because the whole scene's kind of yellowy, kind of purpley. But we've got this extra thing on top, which, look at these fins, very spiky. Same fins on the back of the siren. So there's a match there. So that's why we think it's a pet of hers. So the only thing I can see in terms of design-wise that connects them morph is these fins. And that one, they're more just spikes. They don't really like fins. It's kind of hard to tell. I think these fins are to do with the glide system that we seem to have. Team-wise healer. I mean, the thing is with 3 trees, it also means 3 action skills, right? So, you know, this guy's not going to be limited to a sword mode. Also, Days, that you're here, don't you think that this guy is going to interest Spunky? Because all Spunky cares about is a melee mode, which Amara didn't provide. This looks like a melee mode, so I'm hoping we get Spunky back. Glide system. Okay, so she's kind of got something on her back there. If we go a frame prior, she's kind of got like a booster thing. I initially thought double jumping. She's also got exhausts on her boots. And then if we go to this clip, look how slowly he returns to Earth. Bro doesn't land until it cuts away. Now, could be trailer magic, but I think it's something to do with those backpacks the characters seem to have. In fact, Big Lad does a superhero landing. Kind of integrated here, kind of hard to see. I don't think he'll have a punching melee mode like Brick did Days, and that's what Spunky cares about. He doesn't care about a melee theme, he just wants a mode you can go into that punches. Or does some kind of melee thing, you know, Krieg wasn't punching, and this guy has it. That's just so cool. Wilhelm dialogue is needed. Wilhelm dialogue was peak. So simple. So much emotion in so few words. Well, so little emotion in so few words, but like intentionally designed little emotion. It was great. You reckon they'll go back to the original action skill system and having 1 per character? Why do you think that, Phil? Could be trail magic or slow, just make it look cool but possible. Yeah, absolutely. It might not be a glide. But they say, you know, movement systems that they miss when they go back to play older games. And it's got to be more than just grappling hooks. It's got to be more than just the grappling hook in place of yellow paint. You know, if it's going to be a bigger, slightly more open, seamless map, they've got to have more movement tech in it. Double jumping makes sense to me. I'd love double jumping, but I don't think they've got that given how little this grappling hook covered. I mean, obviously, it doesn't show it off, but... And blue vibes in your face, the first person would be like looking through Zane's barrier the whole time. Oh no. Hit rate is definitely favoring the Siren. It's because the Siren's got the most color in her, I think. But then again, that didn't stop people picking Flack over Zane. We need a character-focused trailer. As we were just going on about, this trailer was so little lightly focused on the characters and more about the stuff. People haven't been able to connect to the characters at all. If we get Happy Together and the E3 trailer, like level of quality, I'll talk about the Borderlands 3 ones here, but for this game, which are, you know, much more character focused, I think the spread will fan out. I'm seeing a lot of support for this guy, but mainly Siren and less so Big Lad. Very little support for X-Mallow on Heavy here. For Lucia Traunt. Is that what we're calling her? Lucia Traunt? Lucia. And then Mallow on Heavy, Traunt. Want to know more about Miss Pants? She's X-Mallow, confirmed speculation. Speculation. She's got really fat pants with lots of pipes and stuff. It's very similar to Mallow in design, something that Irish mentioned in earlier. And the very fat gloves. It just looks Mallow on. It's not based on much, but it's something that I'm riding with and I'm hoping for, but don't take it as any gospel. It just kinda looks Mallow on, but don't. I mean, why are her pant legs bigger than her entire upper torso? Like, she's got to be X Mallow on heavy, right? Is that thing where does time slow down there? Be makes time would work with the whole timekeeper stuff, and slowdowns. The pistol design here is cool. It's an SMG. It could be a pistol. No, that depends on animations, because his animations are normal speed. It's also more than just time slow, because they get lifted off the ground. I think it's... Polish has got because the yellow and orange are Mallow themed. Is the siren shooting, by the way? Oh, this one. I know which one it's about. Oh, so that's the siren. Yeah, you can see it tattoos. That's the siren hand. Okay. See, this is important. When looking at character designs like this, okay, it's important to judge the important parts of the character. So, all of this doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is their knees for when you're sliding, and their left hand, because that's the hand you see on the gun. So the left hand is the important one, along with their knees and their shoes. Those are the only things that matter. Slowdowns in copper usually annoys unless it only affects enemies. A Dying Light did it well. Because it only slowed you down, but it wasn't like too jarring. I don't think they'll go back. It feels like going smaller. They said they're going bigger everywhere. Yeah. Like, going from 3 to /4 action skills down to 1 would be... That would be rough. Gearbox like to go bigger and better. Or anything in other games? Yeah. Yeah, I like how this is potentially a siren using Iridium when the player controls them. That always happens afterwards. So this could be like an Iridium injector, or, you know, purely aesthetically. It'd be cool if she's got a better grasp of her powers than the other sirens that we've played. Like 4 mini trees at launch. They did say they're expanding, but we'll have to see. I don't think they'll go Quantum Break on us. If the UI is more like BL3, they'll put your character body on every single thing. I'm having a lot of fun talking about this. I like how I did one Mallow 1 takedown run of no skill point modes, and then it's just trailer talk. But it's been fun. But it is 10 o'clock. I'm going to have to wrap it up at some point soon. Borderlands 4 should bring back microtransactions for head skins. You say bring back as if they ever went away, when they kind of, well, we didn't get as many head skin microtransactions, but we got the body skins. What if they're a PoE style tree? Then I will create fluids. Pants from Mallow and Heavies look real like the girl's pants on the right. So yeah, I think Irish is on with a winner there. I think X Mallow on and Mallow and Heavy is a good shot. Well, the thing is Wolf. Borderlands gives you hundreds of recolor choices and like 20 odd head skins per character anyway. very rarely kept my characters looking default in Borderlands. And I think most people, they make cosmetics so when you unlock them, you equip them. If you had the absolute universally best combination from the get-go, nobody would care about cosmetics. So they have a standard design, and then they let you customize from there. That's kind of the point. Obviously, you need the standard design to be good. You can't have it be shit, and obviously there's work to be done. But I don't think it's as bad as people think. The problem is the trailer did not do a good job of giving them a personality. We don't know anything about these characters. Whereas the reveal trailer for Borderlands 3 focused pretty much solely on the characters. Whereas this trailer admittedly gave us a lot of other stuff. It gave us a lot of story implication here, and it had some like movement tech, but less of the character. Big Lad gives you doll. See it, but I also don't. I see why you said that, but I think it's a stretch. A soft reset for the franchise? I mean, moving away from Pandora, I see the vision, but it's like they're wanting to expand into like make it a bigger, better game. So it's like they're taking some big steps, which is cool. It's experimental, it's risky, but I'm looking forward to it. That's a vanilla. Well, it's a recently added vanilla feature. There's not a mod official. I don't like using it because it's jank as fuck, but I mean, it does exactly what it says on the tin, I suppose. There you go. It does mean you accidentally sell shit. Yeah, I like the vault cards as well. I hope they remove cosmetics from Blue Drop and make it drops once again. Well, the thing is, they made it in Wonderlands. It doesn't. Cosmetic drops in Wonderlands don't interfere with any other drops, and they're worth quite a bit of money, so it's fine. If they had Ava as the DLC character, you'd be happy. I'm pretty sure she'll be an important NPC and not a playable character. But I'm actually with you. I'd have actually liked to play as a badass grown-up Ava. Yeah, they are fully gonna be sold. What's that? What manufacturer armies personnel have we seen before? Most of them, actually, at this point. We haven't seen like a Jacobs personnel. But we've seen TDO, we've seen Dahl, we've seen Malawan, we've seen Hyperion, we've seen Atlas, we've not seen SNS, but they died. DLC what was that big? Right, I'm gonna be live tomorrow. I'm not sure with what. Either BL3 Endgame shenanigans or starting a new run. I think the next run I'll start will either be Borderlands 3 or Quest, but I think I need to do testing with that one first, or a brick run. TDO, yeah, New Tales from the Borderlands had TDO. They're really cool, actually. The whole point of TDO soldiers is that they're basically just slaves that TDO have captured and enlisted upon their army. So they're all just like dysfunctional as fuck. It's very in line with. Like, they're just bandits wearing TDO. It's funny. Anyway, thank you very much for watching through the trailer with me. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Stay safe, stay awesome. I'll catch you next time.